Hey folks, welcome back to another Paul Masters video, and today we're going to continue with the series where we talk about, again, a lot of these 3-star, 4-star Gacha units that, again, since we are getting grids for Sophocles and Candace, I would expect we get more grids in the future for these units. So let's talk about some of these. Last time we went over the units from Kanto and Johto. This video we're going to go over units from Hoenn Sinnoh, right? The 3-star, 4-star from Hoenn Sinnoh. Boy, do some of them need it. Some of them really need it. All right, so starting off, by the way, if you guys haven't seen the Kanto Johto one, it's also somewhere on the channel. Go check it out. Not a lot of people saw it, unfortunately. All right, so starting off with Hoenn, I guess, which also, by the way, another promo. Nothing to do with my channel, not sponsored. If you guys haven't watched the Evolutions episode, go watch it. It's so good. The Hoenn Evolution episode, the one with Xenia. Oh my god, that was a good episode. That was such a good episode. All right, anyways, go watch it if you haven't watched that as well. So, speaking of, starting off with Brawly over. Brawly, I've always kind of liked his kid, honestly. Even without a grid, I thought it was a interesting little kid over here that he has. So let's first of all make the screen a bit larger, so it's a bit easier to see. All right, there we go. That's better. So Brawly Makuita, or Hariyama, I guess, for those who evolved it, which I would assume is most people. So Hariyama is a tech unit. It has Power Reserve too, which is obviously a terrible, passive, right, overall. If you look at his stats, he has some really interesting stats. He has 973 HP, which is a lot of HP. His attack is not like the worst. It's not good either, right? It's not like 287, not good, but it's not like unusable, right? 115 is definitely unusable, but you don't have to use it. No special moves. Defenses are kind of whatever. Speed's kind of whatever. But if you look at the moves, you do have Rock Smash, which is good, right? You have Rock Smash, you have Potions, and then you have Brick Break. And you have your training move, which sharply raises attack, defense, special defense. And then the sync nuke over here is the more the opponent's defense is lower, the more greater the power of this move. So the obvious fix over here is a few things. You give them some potion nodes, right? Whether it be potion MP refresh, potion master healers, and a rock smash, give them on a roll, right? One on a roll, and then you have a guaranteed chance of lowering the opponent's defense every time you hit them with rock smash. And then also you have again a potion, so it's kind of like I think Cobalion, right? Except obviously Cobalion also buffs crit, which is very good, right? But yeah, it's sort of like Cobalion where you have the rock smash on a roll, and then instead of actual like buffs and move kit acceleration, okay, maybe it's not like Cobalion, but like what's that unit again I'm thinking of right now that has like defense, debuffs, and heals? Oh, no, it's Sonya. Yeah. You have the, no, Sonya doesn't debuff defense. Oh, no, wait, it does. What was the, oh, yeah, defense crush 9, yeah. So, yeah, you debuff the opponent's defenses, then you have potion. Obviously, you don't do the other 7,000 things Sonya does, but for a 3-star Gacha unit, being able to debuff the opponent's defenses, give you some potions. One thing I would definitely like to see that is an improvement for overall his kit, that's not like in his kit at the moment, is just some speed buffs, because like this guy's not very fast, right, with no 1-gauge spams, so definitely some gauge stuff would be really nice. Maybe Rock Smash, Move Gauge Refresh 9 would be nice. Is that a bit too much? Or maybe like, I don't know, just some, even if it's self-speed buffs, that would have been nice too. But yeah, I do have a slight issue with this guy's speed. Or what else you could do is, even though your defenses aren't that great, you do have a lot of HP. So if you could give him like if you could give him a method other than just NPR for this, right? Just a method to quickly max out his defenses, then he could actually be a solid tank as well, right? With healthy healing, maybe. He might, honestly, would have healthy healing regardless. So there's different ways that you could go with this unit, right? That you could definitely see. What I don't really want to see is him just turning into like a generic tech nuker. Like, even though, he could potentially have a pretty good nuke, but I'd rather him just be more of a defense debuffing utility unit. Not that I don't want him to do damage. I obviously do want him to contribute offensively, but, just more of a utility kit would be nice. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what they're going to do with Brawly. Moving on, Drake. Speaking of units, I'm very interested to see what they do with Drake. Another one, right? Because Drake's honestly not bad at the moment, considering, you know, his whole kit and all that stuff. A lot of people want Mega Salamence. I don't, because I don't like Mega Salamence. But that aside, I don't think they're gonna add it at least anytime soon, right? Like, even if he is getting a grid, I don't think he's getting an EX. So, or not EX. He could get a EX, not a Mega, right? So. As for his kit, oh my god, he has 307 attack. What? Why? Anyways, that aside, there are some definitely good things that you could add to his kit. One thing I would like to see, because he is a defense, he's a fully defense support, right? One thing I would like to see is heals, right? If you could get some heals with this kit, that would be actually pretty decent, because on the bright side, defensively, he's not, you know, that bad, right? The stats are pretty good, like 220. These aren't like crazy, but they're not like terrible either, right? You could definitely tank with him. His HP is not that good. So if you do want to make him like a proper tank, I'd say you definitely do need to give him some heals, whether it be against something like a healthy healing or some move that, you know, gives healing back or whatever, right? That would be nice. Probably give them hostile environment on Dragon Breath as well, maybe, right, to get some paralysis going, which would be nice. It's not like a huge deal, like no one really brings Drake ever for paralyzing, but it could give you an option there, right? As for anything else, I think, yeah, I don't think he's gonna be like anything crazy, but just a pretty solid defensive support would be nice, right? Again, just some healings to give him better tanking capabilities. I think would be a decent upgrade. He's one of those units that kind of has like a lower ceiling, but it's hard to screw his kit up, right? It's really hard to screw it up. But it's gonna be hard to make him bad, but also hard to make him really, really, really good. But again, with supports, you know, they could just add like random OP passives out of nowhere. Because again, remember Hilbert, right? Hilbert sucked right before his grid, but they just added random stat buffs out of nowhere to his kit, and now he's top tier, right? So again, with supports, you can never tell. You can never tell with supports, right? So moving on, Liza, who's already really, really decent as well. Damn, Hoenn got some really decent 3-star, 4-stars. I just said that, and then there's Nolan, who's, you know, not very good at all. Liza over here, right, with a Loon Tunnel, again, already really, really good, considering where she's at. But one of the rare, I guess not that rare anymore at the moment, but it used to be rare. I guess special defense buffers, right? Then you have special attack buffs. What would completely make her broken is give her crit buffs, which is why I don't think it's going to happen, because I don't think they're going to make like a 3-star or 4-star, you know, Gacha unit like completely broken. So the really, really easy way to make her broken is just give her crit buffs. And she's basically Falconer, right? Without, I guess, the potions or whatever Falconer does. But then you have like special defense buffs. So I don't think they're going to give her crit buffs, because again, that would be incredibly broken. She would just straight up be better than Phoebe as a Hoenn support for like Hoenn Master Affairs, right? So I don't think that's gonna happen. What I do think could happen is you could get some confusion stuff, right? Aggravation on confusion, maybe. Some healing would be nice. Some gradual healing would be nice, I guess, right? Yeah. I guess something else would be speed, because again, she is pretty slow, but on the other hand, she does have a 1-gauge move, so it doesn't have to be like speed per se. So maybe it could be like a move gauge refresh 9 on confusion. Maybe that would be nice, right? Yeah. Also, again, same issue with Drake, right? It's hard to make her bad, but it's also, well, I guess it's very, very easy to make her broken. But like, broken aside, there are ways, right? Again, maybe you could also give the team some physical defense buffs if you want that. Again, the easy route is just healing, aggravation on confusion, move gauge refresh 9, hopefully, as well, right? Just to solve some gauge issues that she potentially have, although she doesn't have that much gauge, because again, it's a 1-gauge spamming unit. If they really want, or if you really want to go crazy, you go give them like really, really high honor rolls on Psychic to make her like a viable special defense debuffer. That would be really, really nice as well, especially if you're running her with like a Kyogre or something, right? So Moving on. Noland. All right. Speaking of units that are really, really hard to fix, Noland over here. Here's why he might be one of the hardest to fix units in the game. His moves suck. His moves are terrible, right? On so many different levels, it's bad. If you look at his stats, you're like, oh my god, what the heck? That's a lot of, attack, even, especially after you mega. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of attack. But Fury Cutter is terrible. X Scissor is terrible. So if you want to make that viable, you have to give them a lot of multipliers, right? If you give him like, even if you get Nolan Crit Strike 10, right? Which I don't think they're gonna do, but even if you give him Crit Strike 10, X Scissor only goes up to 100 base power, which is as much as what? That's like around Psychic, a regular Psychic, right? So it's very, very hard to make this super powerful. The other issue is he is a Mega, unfortunately, and Megas have really, low sync move powers. So with other units, right, that don't have good regular moves, at least you can make them a solid sync nuker, right? For example, Tate, which we're probably going to check out in a second. His regular moves kind of suck. But you could make him a solid sync nuker, right, with his attack stat, and since he's not Mega. Not saying Megas can't be good sync nukers, it's just a bit harder. It's just a bit harder to make them better sync nukers, right? So, because they do have that inherent disadvantage. But yeah, in terms of what we could potentially get, maybe some ramming speed multipliers with the, plus speed over here, I guess. Maybe they could make up like some completely new passive we've never seen that works really well with Fury Cutter, that makes it so that, I don't know, like the buffs are like doubled or whatever, or they unlock the cap on this or something. But so far from existing things, it's really hard to make any of this kit like super crazy or whatever. Moving on. Let's see. Roxanne is, she's the one I'm looking for the most, because she's arguably the best, 3-star, 4-star Gacha unit in the whole game, right, at the moment, because she's already super, super, super good. Yeah, she has a very, very weird passive, Surging Stand 5 for some reason. But yeah, if you look at her, like, you're wondering what the heck, she sucks. Her stats are all bad. I mean, like, defense aren't bad. Like, HP is terrible, attack, special attack terrible, speed is terrible. But her buffs are some of the best in the game, right? She has defense buffs, which is nice, but Study Buddies, which buffs speed and special attack in the same move, which is very, very good. And especially since she is Hoenn, you get that extra, juice with the Hoenn Master Affairs, right? When I say Hoenn Master Affairs, I mean God and Kyogre. Although you can get some with Steven, it's just not that much, right? So this is definitely really, really nice. In terms of what we could, hopefully see, number one would be Wide Guard, since there's only one MP on Wide Guard. An MP refresh on Wide Guard would straight up just be nice, right? Because, I mean, having this move just to use it once is kind of whatever, right? Again, same thing with Eliza. Crit buffs would make her broken, so I don't think they're going to give us that. Some gradual heals, at least for herself, would be nice, right? And honestly, all she really, really needs is just an MP refresh on Study Buddies. Just give me an MP refresh 3 on Study Buddies, and she's already crazy, right? If you want some more, gauge management her way, right? Some solid move gauge refresh on Ancient Power, whatever. In terms of Ancient Power itself, you can maybe give it Swag Bag, right? So, have a higher chance of Omni buffing herself, which doesn't really matter generally, because you're already, assuming you get MP refresh, you would already have max defenses, max speed, right? But I guess some like extra special defense won't hurt, right? What I don't want to see is, and this could very, very much happen, what I don't want to see them is give her like a sand grid and turn her into sand support, because sand supports do not need Roxanne or sand damagers do not need Roxanne no pass, right? Because like how many special, sand units really are there in this game? There's like, what, Duraludon and Aerodactyl, and they straight up do not need Roxanne. They do not need Roxanne at all, right? Aerodactyl, it's not even that much of a sand unit for to start. So what they could potentially do, and I hope they don't do, is make her into sand support, right? So yeah, don't do that, please. All right. Also some just some really standard, I guess, support or tank stuff would be nice. Just quick cure, natural remedy would be cool as well. So moving on. Let's see who else. Tate. Speaking of Tate, we already talked about him briefly earlier, right? What you could see from Tate is very, very high physical attack stat, right? And since he is not Mega, the easy solution over here is give him Haymaker. Give this guy Haymaker, and boom, you got a very, very powerful, you know, nuker over here, right? Striker nuker. Because, again, very high physical attack stat. You get a Sync Nuke multiplier, right? You are Psychic type. Success. Easy success. Not very hard. Hopefully the multiplier is Haymaker and not Cakewalk. Please do not be Cakewalk, because Cakewalk is terrible to set up. Not saying it's possible, obviously, but not very easy to set up. So, yeah, hopefully it's not Cakewalk, and hopefully we don't get any flinch stuff either from him. I mean, if you want to give him like a flinch hitter 5 with like aggravation on Zen Headbutt, then sure, that's not like the worst thing in the world, I guess. But just Haymaker, keep it simple, give him Haymaker, and that's all, right? That's all he needs to be great, I'd say. Winona, another really, really great unit over here, right? Hoenn, again, has a lot of really, really good 3-star 4-star gachas. Pelipper over here, obviously, sets Rain. Very, very simple to make Pelipper really good, because Pelipper does have some really solid defensive stats, so... also, you have guaranteed defense buffs over here, right? So if you give, you know, some heals and rain would be nice, right? Some heals and rain would be nice. If you could get some extra racing rain, that would be fantastic as well, right? This is such a good trainer move, right? This is such a good trainer move. Plus defense and speed. Basically, all you really want from like a, you know, a unit like Pelipper, right? Who's not here to do damage, but here just to set the weather, make sure everyone stays alive. Obviously, the big, you know, the thing that we want is Rain Dance NPR. But outside of that, aggravation on an air slash would definitely be nice as well, right? Or just aggravation in general, because you also have Hurricane there. If you want some damage for Hurricane, that would not be a bad idea either, because Hurricane is not, you know, pretty solid move. Not like these special attack stats are completely unusable. Yeah, Pelipper's really, really good. Like, look at these stats, honestly. 600 HP, 199 defense, 241 special defense, 264 special attack, 312 speed. None of these are like top tier stats in like any category per se, but they're all definitely usable stats, right? Every single one of these stats are decent at least. So yeah, that would definitely be nice. What I don't want is to make her, again, another standard tech nuker. They could do that, right? But please don't. If you're running Pelipper with something, it's gonna be on a rain team. There's much better sinkers with rain, right? Unless you're running it with like Palkia, then sure, I guess. Moving on. What do we have here? Lucy, one of my favorite top Poke girls, which unfortunately at the moment has her role completely taken by Erica. Completely taken by Erica. The way to fix her, very easy. Just make her like Erica. But what I could also see them doing with her is actually making her like a solid damage dealer, because she already has like Toxic Power 3 in her passive. You give her more Toxic Power nodes, right? More stationary target nodes to actually make her do some solid damage. I could see her being a really good poison type damage dealer, which we kind of do lack in the game at the moment. Let's be real. Like, our poison type damage dealers are all bad. Sorry, Plumeria, but yeah. So some solid damage on Sludge Bomb would be nice. The Sync Nuke could be better as well, right? What was that? What was that the flinch nuke multiplier called again? I don't remember, but yeah, give her that, whatever that's called. Give her that thing. Better chance of poison would be nice as well, right? Now that Poison Fang has a bad chance, you know, just better. Just maybe like a guaranteed poison, or the what was called viral hit, the thing that Emolga has, where like if you poison one unit, poison like the whole, you know, opponent team. That would be nice as well. Not a huge deal though, but yeah. If you could turn her into like a bit more offensive than just making her like the quintessential, you know, even though she's not that at the moment, but like instead of making her like the big poison stall unit, turn her into like a semi-offensive poison unit. That would be good in my opinion, right? Because like again, you already have Erica for like the big poison stall, so it's really hard to like, you know, I just don't want two units doing basically the same thing. So I would like to see her divert a bit from that to make her a solid poison type damage dealer, as well as a poison type you know, nuker as well, right? Let's see. Yeah, that's all for Hoenn. Let's check out some of the Sinnoh units over here. Candace, where do you have? Cheryl, very, very good potential here as well. Cheryl is a very solid special tank, right? That cannot take a single physical hit. So the obvious big thing is to make her like at least capable of, you know, surviving more than 5 seconds on the floor against an opponent that has physical moves. Right, so you do have a lot of really easy fixes over here. Massey Healer on this, right? MP Refresh on this would be nice too. But yeah, X Special Attack all is easy. Some speed buffs would be nice as well to go with it, right? Or Team Fast Track or Pep Rally, whatever, right? You want to make it that those would definitely be nice. I don't care about the burn thing, but again, it would help her tank physical hits. But yeah, just something to make her tank physical hits. Please, maybe that thing that like Caitlyn has, where after she sings, she gets like the reflect and light screen. Maybe that, except like not having to sync because I don't want to sync with her. Unless she gets like a 6-star EX, then sure, right? But if she doesn't get a 6-star EX, then just something like that. Set up some screens, that would be nice, right? Some gradual heals for the team would also help, I'd say. So yeah, Cheryl. Again, has some good potential, but just that one major weakness, not very fun, unfortunately, for Cheryl. All right, moving on. Crasher Wake, that's my guy. Crasher Wake, straight up damage dealer. Just make him a damage dealer. Make him a damage dealer, right? Make him a big sync nuker. In terms of what multipliers we can still get, I really don't know. Maybe like a confusion multiplier, which I wouldn't like, just because like the chance of confusing is not really good with Water Pulse. Also, I don't want to use Water Pulse just because he can max out his attack and max out his crit, right? So I want to just use Waterfall, but either that or make him like a really high percentage flincher would be cool. But I mostly want to see him as a damage dealer. I want to see him as a damage dealer, right? Because like he deserves it. These are solid offensive stats, right? Speed's very good. Just make him a damage dealer. Give him Haymaker, whatever, right? I don't care. Just give him like just offensive sync nuke multipliers. Make him a top 10 water type sync nuker. There's too many water type nukers, man. Again, it would be redundant, but that's the easy path for him, right? Moving on, is there any more? Gardenia, there is more. Gardenia, one of the best 3-star, 4-star Gacha damage dealers, right? Was on par with Sceptile until Lucky Skills were introduced, and afterwards with grids and all that stuff. But she definitely does have some really good upsides. First of all, that's very high special attack stat, obviously very good, and also Leaf Storm is just a very high BP move, right? So any multiplier would be nice. Dauntless would be very nice. Right, although I don't think they're gonna give her a Dauntless because of how her trainer move works, how it inverts stats, right? So I don't think they're gonna give her Dauntless. But to make up for that, I guess they can make users still run Dauntless as their lucky skill, but to make up for that, then maybe some damage multipliers, right? Easy one would be obviously Crit Strike. I mean, she does buffer crit after all, right? Plus, she doesn't really have much of a, else in terms of multipliers, right? Maybe Brain Sync, I guess. But, yeah, not incredibly hard. One thing I don't really want to see, actually, I don't know. We could definitely see that. Actually, I don't mind. Maybe some, like, Sun multipliers, make her, like, a Sun grass type damage dealer, right? Even though again we already have more, but like they, being able to run her and like Leafeon on the same team would be nice, I guess, right? So maybe some Sun multipliers would be cool. So yeah, that'll be nice, I guess. Moving on, Marley, another support that has nothing going for her, basically, unfortunately. She does have speed boost, which is always nice, right? I like speed buffs. The block status condition thing is not terrible either, right? It's just really hard to see what we could get out of her, just because she just really does nothing. She does nothing at the moment, right? The obvious thing over here is probably just to give her a hostile environment to burn the opponent a bit better. What I do want to see is to make her a better tank, because she definitely has the stats there, right? These are really good stats, so maybe some team, or even if it's not team, at least self. I mean, it's a support, it should be like for the whole team, but like, just some defense buffs, right? Defense buffs make her a solid tank, some heals, here and there. So you could just be a speed buffing tank. Again, with supports, they could go with whatever, right? They could go crazy with it. Next one, Maylene, also one of the best 3-star, 4-stars in the game at the moment. Has crit buffs, obviously, and physical attack buffs, and some guaranteed hits, which you don't see too much. So yeah, one big thing I'd like to see is on a roll with Rock Smash, right? Rock Smash, if you could have a physical attack buffer that guarantees debuffs on, guarantee physical defense debuffs, that'll be very, very nice. Kind of like Scyther, except without the obviously move gauge acceleration and a single target instead of AoE. But, just make her kind of like Scyther would be nice, right? Just make her kind of like Scyther. Drain Punch Master Healer, I don't really know about that one. I mean, her physical attack stat is just terrible. So I wouldn't rely too much on that, right? So moving on. Jork, oh my god, does this guy need a grid? If anyone needs a grid, it's this guy, because he is terrible. Like, this guy, what he does at the moment, comes on the field, does like 2% damage to the opponent, and kills himself. That's like completely what it does. Very, very high attack stat. Head smash, very, very powerful move. You have nothing to stop the recoil. You will one-shot yourself. You will one-shot yourself. You're going to do 300 damage to the opponent and then one-shot yourself. So, obviously, stand fast nodes. Give him like stand fast, I don't know, give him like 7 stand fast 5s for all I care. Just, or just recoil removal from blue, right? Or something. Someone has recoil move. Was it blue or is it, I think it's blue, right? Yeah, classic blue. Give him recoil removal. And, I don't know, maybe a haymaker, right? And you're golden. he could already straight up do like solid damage. Just give him like one. You don't even have to give him that many multipliers. Just like one like 30% multiplier or even a 20% multiplier. Make him not kill himself in one hit, and then you're golden. That's please. This guy needs grid so bad. Oh my god. All right, Thorton, Mr. Thorton over here. He's a bit of a weird unit because he doesn't really have. He's like a really, really niche unit, right? Because you could do something like telekinesis to make sure the opponent never dodges your moves. You could combine that with like lower action moves, such as hypnosis, right? Which could be nice. But then again, you're really running like a whole slot for like this guy. So it's really hard. I guess you could make him into a tank, right? Defenses are pretty good. The analysis complete does give you resistance. So I would like to see him turn into a tank, which means, I guess just more defense, special defense buffs. Make it so that every time you use analysis complete, it gives you an extra +1 defense, +1 special defense. So it maxes out both your defenses in 3 moves. Maybe healthy healing coming in as well would be nice. Aggravation on Zen Headbutt, to further stop the enemy from taking you out, right? I think that would be cool overall. Yeah, I don't see him turning into like a game changer, but he could be like a pretty niche tank, I guess. So you could do that. Although what I do want to see with him in terms of, and I don't think they're going to do that, but what would really be nice is because, again, the cool thing is, like, if you don't have Troublemaker or whatever, you could run him like as a telekinesis unit so that your hypnosises don't miss the opponent. But the overall issue with running that is your team's going to be very, very slow. So you're going to get. So what I want to see is to give him some speed buffs. But since he has like Gyro Ball, I don't think they're going to give him speed buffs, right? Because like, not that it doesn't work out. It's just that it's like his character, like the gimmick, doesn't it doesn't check out. So. Anyways, I think, yep, that's all, I guess, for this one. Hope you all enjoyed. Guys, think the comments down below. Let me know what y'all's suggestions are. And yeah, have fun, folks. Hope you all enjoy. Let me know, guys, think the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.